Hey, what's up everybody? Tony with Lido Loca, and I'm here to talk to you about something super frustrating. Cruise ship tipping. That's right guys, I've been in the game 14, 15 months. I've been living on the cruise boards on Facebook, Cruise Critic, anywhere where they're talking cruise, and I've been living there for 14 months, and the number one topic that I hear talked about all the time is the drink package worth it? But we're not here to talk about the drink package today. Topic number two that comes up the most is cruise ship tipping. What the heck is up with cruise ship tipping? We had a member of the Loca fam the other day asking questions like, oh man, if I'm gonna get charged a gratuity on every drink, then I'm taking off my prepaid gratuities. And it just really reminded me that it's super confusing what's going on with cruise ship tipping. So I'm here, I'm unscripted, I'm just gonna let it fly. I got some opinions about it, I wanna let it go, so here we go. All right, first of all, here's how gratuities work on the cruise ship. They assign gratuities. Now what that means is there's a suggested amount that the cruise ship is going to apply to your sailing. So it depends on the length of sailing, it depends on the kind of room that you have. Check with the cruise line that you're traveling on to understand what your daily assigned gratuity is. And the assigned gratuity, like at least on Carnival, it goes to your room steward, it goes to servers that serve you in the included restaurants, and it goes to some people that are behind the scenes. Again, check the website out to know exactly what that goes for, and each person gets charged that gratuity, the assigned gratuity, and that is either added on to your cruise bill at the end of your cruise, or if you want that all-inclusive feel, you can prepay it. And so you'll hear the conversation, should I prepay my gratuity? That's one conversation. That means you're going to prepay the assigned gratuity. And then the other conversation is, should I take off the assigned gratuities? Both of those are things that, you know, the prepaid is not that big of a lose your mind topic, but whether or not to keep the assigned gratuities or to take off the assigned gratuities is one of those topics where people lose their mind. People calling people cheap, people calling people mind your own business, I should be able to do what I want with my money. All that conversation, you can go to almost any cruise forum and find that conversation. But to me, it goes back to this idea that the way the cruise ships do it is frustrating. All right, so people deserve gratuity. I want to get that out of the way. Whenever somebody does a service for you where they go above and beyond and part of their income is a gratuity, we should be willing and happy to pay that gratuity. For example, at the cruise port, the people that handle your luggage are not paid by the cruise line, they are paid by whoever runs the port, and it is customary, in addition to what they normally get paid, for them to lug your bag around, to give them a gratuity. It is customary. Again, nothing is, you're not forced to do anything, right? You may get some stern looks, you may get some judgment from people. So if you can deal with all that and you don't feel like you should give a gratuity to some of these customary gratuities, that's up to you. But if you just want to follow the custom is when you go to the cruise port, you should give the person that's handling your bag a couple dollars, either $1 a bag. Some people get $5 a bag. It is up to you, but those folks are expecting a gratuity to supplement their income. That's understandable. Same thing if you take a shuttle over, if you take a taxi cab, if you take a ride share, all those people in those industries, it's customary to give them a tip. Make sure that you give them a tip. Now when you get on the cruise ship, it's a little more confusing. Again, they're going to assign you gratuities. Either you've prepaid them or they're going to go on the end of your bill, and that's going to cover some of the people on the cruise ship. Boom, that's the first part of confusion. So my assigned gratuities, is that going to cover the bartender? I don't know. Who's it going to cover? Again, check with your cruise line. Carnival, it's like the room steward, servers in the dining rooms that aren't additional, and some people behind the scenes. So, you know, now, so that's up to you, right? And then there's a conversation of whether you should give those people extra money. So you've already paid your assigned gratuity, and now are you going to get better service or worse service if you give those people extra money? It's crazy. I just want to pay my cost and go on the cruise. We usually tip the room steward, right? We've never had the same wait staff over and over. We don't really go to the bar, so we normally give the room steward extra money. On one cruise, we gave it to him at the end of the cruise. On the other cruise, we gave it to him prior to the cruise. We got the same level of service. Now, there's going to be people out there that say, look, you got to grease the wheels. If you want excellent service, give them some extra money on the front end. But again, you've already been assigned a tip for that person, and so you are over tipping at that point. And don't be guilted into doing that. If you want to do it, but you should get the same level of service for the gratuity that you've already been assigned without giving extra. But you can give extra. You know, it's back to the conversation. Some people are 15% tippers, some people are 20% tippers. The assigned gratuity is kind of like the 15% tip. If you feel like you want to be a 20% tipper, give that extra money. If somebody goes out of your way and you want to give some extra money, give the money. But if you don't, and you're paying the assigned gratuity, either prepay or at the end of your cruise, don't worry about it. That's what I'm saying. Because it's confusing, it's frustrating. It would be just so much easier if they would take the whole gratuity language out of it and you just pay for the service as part of your cruise fee. Let me take a moment. Now, in addition to your assigned gratuity, there are also people on the cruise ship that need a tip. When you get room service, that person needs a tip. Check the tip. It's so confusing, I can't even keep it straight. So everything that you do, you're going to be presented with some sort of bill. If you get a drink at the bar, whether you're on the drink package or not, if you order room service, anything that you do, you're going to be asked to sign something. It's so easy not to look at that slip, other than the fact that they leave a line on there for you to tip. Check those lines, and if you've already tipped, if it says gratuity on there, then you've already given a tip, and that line should actually say extra gratuity. It doesn't. It just says tip, or it says gratuity. It should say extra gratuity. So it's up to you. Again, it goes back to the 15 to 20% deal. The included gratuity on most cruise lines are around 15 or 18%, and then that extra line is for you to give to over tip. Some people don't know that. Again, frustrating. So, what does all this mean, other than me just rambling on like a crazy man? The thing is, you are in control. Do not let people's judgment dissuade you. Never take off the assigned gratuity. That's my opinion. You can tell me I'm wrong. It's your money. Do with it what you want. In my opinion, the cruise game, the way that they're paying those folks, is to assess the assigned gratuity. So if you take that off, somebody's losing money. Don't be the person that's making them lose money. All right, that's the assigned gratuity. Make sure that you tip people that it's customary to tip. Taxi drivers, rideshare drivers, shuttle drivers, the luggage handler. If you go to a port and there's a street performer out there doing his thing, do not just watch the performance and don't give that person a tip. It's customary to do that. You should do that. If you're not doing it, you're kind of bucking the custom, and if you're okay with that, that's okay. But just know that all those people that I just mentioned, they're working for tip money. And then finally, when you're on the cruise ship, after you paid your assigned gratuity, you really don't owe anything else. If you buy a drink at the bar, they're gonna put a gratuity on it. Just sign your name, unless you want to tip extra. When the room service, if there's already a gratuity on there, just sign your name. If there's not a gratuity on your slip, then you should tip that person. But the thing is, they don't make it clear, like, did I pay my gratuity? Did I not pay my gratuity? Why am I paying extra? Why am I not paying extra? It's never wrong to be generous, as long as you're informed. Where I think it's a little shady is when they manipulate you into giving extra money that you didn't know that you were giving. The bar is a great example. If they sell you a drink, they put an 18% gratuity on it, and then they leave a line blank like you didn't tip, and that's a psychological thing to make you tip, I think it's crazy. I don't think it's right, and I think the cruise line should change the way that they do it. But if they're not going to do it, the best thing that you can do is be informed. So again, I'm probably all over the place. One more time, give tips where it's customary. Don't remove your assigned gratuities, because you're gonna make sure somebody's not gonna get paid in that case. And then any other time where there's a tip line, make sure that you haven't tipped already. And then if you want to give extra knowing that you're over tipping, but don't get manipulated into over tipping. I don't know if that made sense. It's one of those things that just kind of burns me up. I've worked in industries where tipping is a big part of it, and psychology is a huge part of that. I used to work at a huge hotel in Nashville, and every Sunday me and my partner would work the Sunday morning brunch. And so when people would buy a ticket for the brunch, a $1.61 gratuity was included. It was about 10% of the brunch. And so if somebody asked us directly, is the tip included? We had to say yes, the tip was included. If we didn't, we would be lying to those people. But at the same time, we knew that we could use psychology to get extra money. And so we would do things like, at the beginning, I would walk over to my partner who might be serving coffee at a table. I would give him a couple dollars and say, oh, those nice folks from Chicago thought the service was excellent. Here's a couple dollars. Now, you know, I was a kid. That may not be ethical. Pass whatever judgment that you want, but it's an example to show you that there is an emotional and psychological reaction that happens when you feel like you're supposed to do something. And so people exploit that. Servers in restaurants exploit that. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing. Everybody's trying to hustle to make a living. I'm not making any judgment there, but I'm just saying, as the consumer, as the person that's getting parted from your money, at least in the cruise line, you should know what the deal is. So don't let the psychology of that blank line make you part with your money, because you might buy 20 drinks and say you give an extra $1 or $2, you're gonna spend 22 or 25 extra dollars on your cruise vacation that maybe you didn't think that you were gonna spend. That might not be a lot of money, but if you've already paid, that's just extra money that you could use for something else. So tip for great service, but don't feel pressured to do so. Don't be manipulated into doing so. Know what you're paying. And that's my rant. What do you think? Do you think I'm a raving lunatic? Do you think I'm a El Cheapo? Or am I making any sense? Anyways, if you like this kind of content, please hit that like button. Smash it, pop it, whatever you do. All you gotta do is just click the like button. If you haven't yet subscribed to the YouTube channel, consider doing that. Come over to Facebook, to the Lido Loca cruising community, and join us there. Again, my name's Tony. I'm with Lido Loca, and until the next time, see you on Lido. Bye.